Euclid of Alexandria was a mathematician of ancient Greece. He is sometimes called the father of geometry because he could always draw a perfect circle on his very first try. Just kidding. It's because he was a very influential person in the development of geometry and created one of the most complete and informative math textbooks of his time. In Euclid's Shapes, we use virtual reality to explore and learn math concepts using all kinds of shapes and math tools. Let's start out by going over some of the tools and functions of this application. On the left, we have our home control bar, filled with functions you'll likely recognize from other zSpace learning applications. On the right, we have our backpack, which contains a bunch of math pieces, and I'm talking a lot. These include rainbow cubes, which are kind of like snap cubes, square tiles, pattern blocks, base 10 blocks, fraction bars, and symbols. Sometimes you may open a pre-built activity that has limits set on the backpack of supplies, causing some of your objects to be grayed out. But if you're not doing an activity and simply freestyling in the sandbox mode of Euclid Shapes, all of the materials and functions should be available and unlimited. Now let's start adding some of the shapes from our backpack to our table. That's a lot of choices. Let's just take a bit of everything by clicking and dragging the objects with the front stylus button. Oh, and if you need to move your table to get a different view, click these arrows around the table to rotate it or to tilt. Now that's a pretty impressive arrangement. But wait, I need to show you more of the features. Let's clear up a board by selecting the broom. Great. Now let's select rainbow cubes and right-click them to bring up a context menu. The context menu gives us more options to manipulate shapes. In the rainbow cubes context menu, we have the option to duplicate an object, group objects together, ungroup objects, and delete them. Let's try ungrouping these rainbow cubes. See how I'm able to move cubes individually now, instead of grabbing all 10 at the same time? Now we can rearrange these blocks into a new shape. Select multiple cubes by clicking with the left stylus button. Notice how they're a lighter color? That means that they're selected. Now we can right-click and select Group, and voila, we just grouped these cubes into this new shape. Just a quick note about context menus. The tools in these menus may change depending on the shape that you're using. Now let's head over to the toolbox located at the top of the scene. We can take a picture of the scene by selecting the camera, which turns our stylus into a stylus cam. We can zoom in and out by using the left and right stylus buttons. Then click the front stylus button to take a picture. The picture then saves to our photo gallery. We also have the grid. By selecting the grid tool, we can choose to display a small grid or a large grid, or no grid at all. With the falling cube, we can turn gravity on and off. I wish I could do that in real life. When opening pre-built activities in Euclid Shapes, you may be asked to answer a question with text, like this, or with a photo, which you can get by clicking on this camera. And then you'll see your photo here. To switch from question to question, we can use these arrows at the bottom of the box. When you're done with an activity, we can either submit our work or export it to a PDF. And don't forget your name and class. Phew, got all that? Great. Now let's see what you can do with Euclid Shapes for zSpace.